Colorado ruling puts courts at the center of Trump's fate next year. The Colorado Supreme Court's decision that Donald Trump is constitutionally ineligible to appear on the ballot in next year's state primary represents a stunning rebuke of the former president and a new level of accountability for his efforts to overturn the 2020 election, threatening his 2024 electoral prospects in a way the 4 criminal indictments against him have not. While the court's 4-3 decision Tuesday may not ultimately lead to the former president's removal from the ballot in Colorado or any other state because of expected appeals, the ruling puts the country in uncharted territory, raising the shocking prospect that a major party's candidate could be barred from office. It's perhaps the final exclamation point to cap off a year of unprecedented events encircling Trump, posing new and potentially grave challenges to American democracy heading into a tumultuous election year from a former president who embraces political chaos. Outside of the courtroom, Trump has increasingly embraced inflammatory rhetoric, musing about being a dictator should he retake power next year, and launching attacks against his opponents reminiscent of Nazi propaganda. Trump repeated his incendiary comments about immigrants at an event in Iowa Tuesday evening, pushing back against criticism from the Biden campaign and others that he was echoing Adolf Hitler. It's crazy what's going on. They're ruining our country. And it's true, they're destroying the blood of our country. That's what they're doing. They're destroying our country. They don't like it when I said that, Trump said, and I've never read Mein Kampf. To Trump's detractors, the Colorado decision signals that the legal system is finally beginning to hold the former president accountable for his efforts to overturn his election loss in 2020 and the attack on the U.S. Capitol that unfolded on January 6, 2021. Accountability for inciting an insurrection. It's about time, wrote Representative Adam Schiff, a California Democrat who led the House's first impeachment against Trump. But Tuesday's ruling also could help propel Trump back to the White House, emboldening his supporters who have embraced the former president's message that the criminal cases against him are unjustified and are a key reason he should be returned to power. Trump's allies railed against the Colorado decision, coming to his defense just as they have following each of his 4 criminal indictments this year. Democrats are so afraid that President Trump will win on November 5, 2024, that they are illegally attempting to take him off the ballot, Representative Elise Stefanik of New York, the House's number 3 Republican, said in a statement. Even former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, the most prominent anti-Trump Republican running for president, was critical of the Colorado decision. I don't believe it's good for our country if he's precluded from the ballot by a court, he told voters in New Hampshire. Next year may end up as one of the most chaotic in American legal history. The U.S. Supreme Court will be faced with both deciding if Trump is eligible for the White House and whether he's immune from prosecution for his efforts to subvert the 2020 presidential election. I can't overstate the consequences of this evening, and I also want to stress how we now have 2 major, very critical Trump election issues barreling toward the court. They will have to decide both of these one way or another, said CNN's senior Supreme Court analyst Joan Biskupich. The former president has been indicted 4 times, with criminal trials that could play out at the same time he's campaigning against President Joe Biden and potentially simultaneously fighting in court to get back on the ballot. In a poll from the New York Times and Siena College released Tuesday, there was no clear leader between the two, with Trump taking 46% to Biden's 44% among registered voters. Among those who are, at this early stage, considered likely to vote, Biden takes 47% to Trump's 45%. Importantly for Trump, the Times Siena survey finds the former president leading Biden among registered voters who did not participate in the 2020 election, a finding that mirrors other recent polling, CSN's Ariel Edwards-Levy wrote.